Hi guys, welcome back to Do You Watch Anime? My name's Adam Corky, and this is a show where I sit down with a guest and ask them, do you watch anime? And we go from there. And today, joining me is cosplayer and infographic connoisseur, Gatorade addict.
Yes.
Bunny Bao.
Hello.
How are you today?
Peachy friend. I'm doing great.
Just great.
Just great. Just great.
So, do you watch anime?
Yeah, I think I might.
Yeah.
Just like a little bit.
A little bit.
Just like a smidge.
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. So, how did you originally first get into anime?
Oh my god. Okay, so the Weeb pipeline started with one day I was left alone, and I think I was like 3 years old, and YTV was on. This is like the classic Canadian pipeline.
Yeah.
And Sailor Moon came on, and Tuxedo Mask came on, and I was like, who is that man? And immediately was sold. Like, I don't know what it was. I think it was just all of the sparkles, the girl power, everything, just the camaraderie. It tied me in, and that was a bad pipeline because next, after Sailor Moon, Inuyasha played, I think.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, again, who is this man?
Yeah.
And who is this girl?
Yeah.
And I was sucked in. And it was far gone.
God damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I hated Inuyasha for the longest time because I was a Dragon Ball Z fan because I was a small boy with no brain and only wanted fighting.
Okay, which I can get, but like I'm a certified hater because that show, like Bear described it best, it's edging. It's straight up edging.
I was a child, okay? I understand now. I get it. But I was like, I just want more Dragon Ball. And it came on after Dragon Ball Z. And I was like, what the fuck is this demon shit?
You're like,
it had a mature warning before it.
Turn off the freaking Catboy and put on the goddamn fights again.
Yeah. I was like, hello? Where's my spiky haired...
Where's my blonde goddess?
Yeah.
Where's my king?
Yeah.
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 No.
Where's my green Yoda looking ass?
I don't know, when I was a kid, like, I watched a couple of episodes and I was like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I kind of feel this. And then I kept watching episodes and I'm like, did I just watch the same episode again? Am I tripping? Like, am I in the same place kind of ordeal? Like, didn't we see all this last episode?
Yep.
I couldn't do it, and it started to make me, like, viscerally rage. Like, my brother would put it on, and I would, like, lose my mind to the point where I think Beyblade was on in competition, and, like, that was, like, our mutual, like, compromise ground. Like, Beyblades was the line of compromise. So I was like, I'm not doing Dragon Ball Z, but I will do Beyblade for you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. That's why I don't, like, they're like, people are like, do I rewatch Dragon Ball Z? And I was like, no.
Keep it pristine in your brain.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Kai is there without the filler, without the, like, the crazy long episodes.
Like, it's there for you to consume and actually enjoy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. God. So from Sailor Moon and Inuyasha, where did you go from there?
Oh my God, this is the pipeline of shame. Vampire Night. That was the next one.
And thank you so much for coming.
I don't condone anything that went down in that anime or the manga.
How did you discover Vampire Night?
Okay,
because I'm always interested on how people discover this shit.
There's a beautiful site called Kiss Anime.
Yep.
Okay, and back in the day, I was really into Kiss Anime, and so
the kids out there are like, what is this?
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. So shout out to Rumi, Harumi-chan Cosplay, because they sent me this link. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, I could get with this. And Vampire Night was, like, the #1 anime on there. And I was like, vampires?
Knights?
I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but, like, that's definitely my vibe. So I was like, yeah, I could get into this. Yeah. And I was watching, and I was consuming it, and I was loving it, and I was getting so deep into it. And then the bomb was dropped. And, like, that was my first time ever being betrayed. And, like, also, this is my first time seeking an anime out on my own.
Yeah.
So I immediately cleansed my palate with Toradora. Because I was like...
So good.
I was like, yeah, we need to do something to get that out of my brain. Like, there's no way. This can't be all animes.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
I was like, am I a degenerate? Like, you know? But I cleansed my palate with Toradora, and then it was, like, all worth it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could keep watching. And then the third choice was like a little bit sussy. It was like the Vampire Rosario one.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of etchy. Definitely shouldn't have been watching that at like 11, 12 years old.
Jesus.
But again, Kiss Anime existed, and it
Yeah.
was just whatever was on the top. I was like, yeah, girl,
Yeah.
that's what I want.
Yep.
I was like, ooh, pretty girl,
Yeah.
I'm in. I was like, that's all I need, like a magical girl and a half-ass plot line. I'm here.
There you go. Good Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, like that was a way to start, which is why I advocate so heavily for like parents to actually kind of monitor their kids.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, hey, you never know if your kid's watching a certain type of anime,
Yeah.
and you don't know what that's going to do to them
Yeah.
growing up. So like, double check that before you let them see that.
Totally. Like, this masterful, not masterful, what am I saying? This totally innocent anime about high school, but like it has DXD at the end.
Like, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Click. Oh, it's porn.
Oh my god! Why is there a titty on the screen?
Yeah.
No,
oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like, I think there was also like when I came across Berserk, because like I have a brother who's a little bit older than me, and he was like, you should check this out. And I'm like, okay, sure. And I'm like 13, 14, keep this in mind at the time. And I just brain rotted out on it. I was like, don't get me wrong, because like you grow up a little bit quick sometimes. And I was like, okay, like I kind of get the psychological components of this, but looking back,
yeah,
where like I'm like love my parents, they did a great job, but where were you? Like, hello?
Yeah. The that's such an. I watched Berserk at 13, and I'm like,
and I'm like, it's trauma blocked too, because like I try and remember it and arcs of it, and like, and I went back and I started to read the manga a little bit, because bless my roommate. My roommate has all of them, which is
shit,
like,
wow, that's a
lot.
lot.
His collection is to die for. I'm so envious, but I'm like going back and I'm reading it, and I'm like, this is what I consume. Like, make no wonder it's trauma blocked.
Yeah. It's like I always recommend it with a trigger warning.
I'm like, hey,
it's one of the greatest stories ever told, but it's fucked.
Yeah, like just prepare yourself mentally to not be sound after this. Like, give yourself some time to process.
Yeah, especially everything.
Oh my god. It's beautifully done though.
Oh, 100%.
I will say, like, it's 100% worth it. Like, if you're willing to just like throw yourself into it, and you're like, okay, I know I'm gonna get mentally sauced reading this.
Yeah.
It's so worth it, because the messages from it are so beautiful.
Yeah.
Although it does kind of go downhill, but I'm going to save that opinion for another time.
Yeah.
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 Reed's watching this going, what the fuck did they just say?
I'm so sorry, Reed. I love you. If that makes, like, I'm sorry. Just gonna dunk on everything you love today.
Yeah,
like, I'm very sorry.
Yeah. My God.
Yeah.
Fucking so.
The Sailor Moon to Berserk pipeline is real.
Yeah.
Though, because like if you talk to a lot of other people my age, like they're on the same pipeline. And again, it's because that cursed website Kiss Anime was just like, oh, this anime is 18 plus. Recommended for everybody on the front page immediately. That's all we're gonna blast for the next 2 weeks. That's all you're gonna see.
Yeah. Yeah. Straight up.
They're like, there you go.
There you go.
Enjoy the partial brain damage.
Yep. Enjoy.
You'll be okay. You'll be fine.
Enjoy your hentai.
Or your ecchi.
Or your ecchi. Or
It's not technically hentai if nothing's showing, you know? Like,
yeah. Or your spit anime. Here's your spit anime. If you like spit, there you go. I will never live that. I will never forgive whoever. I don't even know who recommended me that to watch on Instagram.
But you're like,
but I'm like, why did you do that to me?
you're like, honestly, I hope that whoever did that to you,
Your pillow is always warm.
pillow is always warm. Like, YouTube is always on loading.
Yeah.
Any of their websites, like, they lag a little bit, just like
Yeah.
enough
You
to
step
make
on
you
Lego.
raise. Oh my god, a whole
Yeah.
Lego. Like,
Yeah.
you know, may your whites never come clean.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah. Good God. So, you have a Pluto tattoo.
Yeah. I'm a little bit of a simp.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. I sound so bad for her, girl. I wish she was real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is legit so good.
Mommy? Just say it.
Yeah.
Just say
Yeah.
it. Straight
Yeah.
up. Like, she's archetyped as a mommy character. She's
Mhm.
very motherly. I need her in my life. I'm down horrendously bad. But it's because, like, she's kind of that ideal. She's, like, everything that you grow up wanting to be, right?
Mhm.
Like, I'm gonna say this again, but my generation, like, she was the all-balanced archetype. Like, you meet her, and she's this boss bitch working in STEM who's out here being, like, STEM by day, Sailor Scout by night, and
Yeah.
then combining the both. And then also, like, she was completely robbed of Tuxedo Mask. This is a really controversial opinion, but that was her man, okay? And she sacrificed that and gave it up to guard the gates
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah.
And, like, she got robbed. And you
Mhm.
know what? She just sat there and she took it. Like,
'Cause
not
she
a
had
single
to.
complaint.
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah. Queen.
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 Queen. I'm down
So-
horrendous.
So did the Pluto simp start at childhood?
Oh, yeah. Pluto was kind of like my pansexual awakening.
Okay.
I remember seeing her, and, like, my heart did the thing that it did when I saw Tuxedo Mask, and I was like, as a kid, I didn't question it, right? Because I was like, it's just like a little crush.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean anything. But then I became a teenager, and I'm like, oh, I'm down bad. I'm like, oh no, like, this is beyond, like, a fixation. This is like an awakening.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And I was like, okay, yeah, because I got put on Adderall for my ADHD.
Yeah.
And my Adderall fixation was watching Sailor Moon for, like, 36 hours straight until I crashed.
Damn.
Because I found really good subs.
Okay.
And, like, in 2014, when you're, like, going through YouTube to find, like, 50 parts, and, like, some of them are half in Spanish, and you don't really, like, have, like, the full thing.
Yeah.
When you find the good subs, it's just everything. And the website was just feeding me, like, amazing episode after episode. And I'm like, oh my God, Usagi isn't a crybaby. She actually has a lot going on. And she's, like, a very complex character.
Yeah.
And that also probably fed the Pluto addiction, too. You know? Like, it all loops back to Pluto. Let's be real here. Because every time I saw her, I was immediately like, do I want to be her or do I want to be in her?
Valid.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No. That's completely. I get it. Mm.
Everybody has that one, right?
Yeah.
Like, who's yours?
Like waifu. That
Like, your
was,
number
like,
one that, like, kind of, like, made you go, wait, am I attracted to do, like, 2D characters? Hold on.
That's hard. I think, like, the very first one was Misty from Pokemon.
Oh, you're so real for that.
As a kid.
You're so real for that. Gingers?
Yep.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like, could kick Ash's ass.
And she was like,
And I was like, oh, that's where it started.
you're like, oh, everything makes sense now.
Yeah.
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 On brand. That's really on brand for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Gingers.
Yeah.
Team Gingers. I'm like, oh,
God.
God.
For like, 'cause like my entire life I've been like, all of these people are attractive, right? But for 2D men, oh my God. When we started watching Inuyasha for the first time, like for me for the first time, and Sesshomaru popped up on the
You
screen,
were like, who
I
is he?
literally was like, that is my new favorite character.
like, who
And he
is he?
started to talk, and I was like, how am I going to process this?
You're like, I don't know what's going on with myself right now,
Yeah, I'm
but
like,
something's happening here.
Damn, that's a man.
Honestly, same.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that was like the start of my like villain liking arc. Like,
Okay.
I'm a Dio Brando simp too, which is horrible. Because, like, the scene that Dio got me in,
fuck?
the scene that Dio got me in is the worst too, because it was honestly his commitment to being a psychopath. Like, when he threw Jonathan's dog into that furnace, I was immediately like, that's my man. I was like, that's the man for me. You know? I'm like, he's committed to being a hater. Like, he's that deep into being a hater.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it was a hater or a crush, but, like, still, you know what I'm saying? I was
Oh,
like,
my God.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like one of the first couple of episodes. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
So sorry.
That's another reason for me never watch JoJo's.
It gets better after
It does.
that. They don't though.
Dog die?
There might be like another part that you want to skip after that, but honestly, it's worth it. It's so worth it.
Yeah. Good lord. Oh, it's falling again. Good lord. Dio.
Yeah,
Come
I have
on.
his it's his version of the star on my shoulder. You can't be mad at me. Like, have you seen him?
I mean, yeah, but like, good God.
He sticks to his ideals. Like, I know we have opposite ideals, but like, I
Yeah.
respect a man who can stand by.
Oh my God. The name of the episode is gonna be Bunny Simps for Dio? Question mark.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, and he got Poochie to simp for him. Like, that's crazy. Could you imagine being like a super raging bisexual, like, vampire god
Mm-hmm.
who's like committed mass genocide all around the world? Me
Yeah.
exposing my taste in anime, man. This is horrible. But like, and then having a priest simp for you, like, that's crazy. Like, he simped so hard for him, he was hunting for a piece of his fucking bone. Like, do you know how down bad you have to be? Like, I'm down bad for Pluto, but like Poochie
Yeah.
for Dio?
Yeah, that's a new level.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not searching for Pluto's bones.
I mean, if
I
she was
mean-
real, I might. But like, I don't know. Maybe respected that a little bit on that front. Like, I have too much respect for her, you know.
So, JoJo.
Yeah.
I have to, I ask this question to every JoJo fan I have on here. Why?
Why not? You're asking me why, like, you don't watch My Hero Academia. Like, hold on.
Wow.
Well, they're like equal levels of like bow, bow, bow. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the fight scenes in JoJo's, I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I am like the queen of dad rock. Like, I'm a classically trained musician.
That's perfect.
I do bass, I do guitar. So like for me, I'm very like killer queen.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Scorpions?
Scorpions? Girl, what are you doing here? Like
Yeah.
every time I would read a chapter or something, it would be like a little double wave of nostalgia for me.
Okay, yeah.
Also, I got into it during COVID. So my brother, who used to make fun of me horribly and call me a weeb and stuff, because like I was down bad into anime when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like I was like watching like a new anime like every day. It was bad.
Holy shit.
I was offered a course in my high school, which was ESTU 4J1 or whatever, and it
Okay.
was Intro to Japanese Studies, where we psychoanalyzed anime. So like I did,
What the
yeah. So
what was
like
that for? Oh.
I know. I was really lucky because it was like one of the AP teachers who wanted to run it.
Yeah.
He was a saint for running that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like our final one that we watched was Akira, which I watched Akira when I was younger. So like for me, I was able to actually go back and properly psychoanalyze that, and
Yeah.
fucking layers to that.
Oh my God, it's a perfect movie. Like I
Yeah.
watched it a couple months ago, like rewatched it, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, no, you rewatch it as an adult and you're like, okay, all of this makes sense. It's
Yep.
such a good,
Yeah.
and it holds.
Oh, 100%.
Like I'm like, it shouldn't still hold, but it
Yeah.
holds. So
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
But I don't know, for JoJo's, like, live, laugh, love JoJo's. It was a pandemic. My brother
Yeah.
got me really into it. And, like, my mom, it was one of the first animes she watched.
Oh, wow.
And so because she's a huge classic rock fan, she
Yeah.
was immediately drawn into it. And so my mom at the time was, like, encouraging me to continue on with the cosplaying and stuff. And she was like, no, you got to keep doing this. And so I was like, what if I did Dio? And I don't know, like after that it just kind of like all snowballed. So like my love for JoJo's is really also tied into like getting back into cosplaying and like
Okay.
being in the community.
Yeah.
Because one of my first anime Norths back, I was Dio, and I had to retire Dio after that just because of like how heavy the social interaction was and how good the reaction was.
yeah.
I was like, oh girl, I need a break from that. That's tiring. But I don't know, it just has like a special nostalgic place in my heart too, because like we survived the pandemic together, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect. I need to keep watching JoJo.
It's a struggle at some
Yeah.
points. Like it gets slow. Like for me, around Stardust Crusaders, there got to like a midpoint, and like Stardust Crusaders is my favorite arc, right? But it's
Yeah.
long as shit.
Oh yeah.
So like it got to a point where I was just like, oh my fucking god, can we just get Dio and get over with it, right? Like I was like,
Yeah.
can you just show me my man, please? Like please stop teasing me, because you keep giving me like little cuts of his shoulder and a little bit of his voice, and I just want to go see him throw another dog into a furnace or something, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm like, please let my man like exist in chaos. But once you get past that, the other arcs, hey, whoa, baby. The other arcs are just, they're insane.
Yeah.
And the art in them is great.
Oh, yeah.
But if you ever get stuck on the anime, read the manga.
Okay.
The manga is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, truly the art in it, it's just like, I don't think the anime could ever do it justice because
No.
I'm a snob like that. But
yeah,
like,
no, that's... Well, it's just like, it's the same with Berserk and like Vinland Saga. Like, as much as Vinland Saga is fucking incredible,
beautiful,
anime,
phenomenal, yeah.
it's on paper,
Oh my god, like they miss a little bit of the nuance, right?
Yeah.
Because they have to cut it for time. But it's
Yeah.
like that's the same with JoJo's. So it's like a lot of the stories, like they go so much deeper and they're so much funnier.
Yeah.
It's like you agree with me.
Oh.
It's like it's just like you get so much more when you read it,
Yeah.
and I think it's because it leaves it open for you to interpret as well. Like there's not the voices actually being set out. It's like your brain is like, okay, this is like the layers to it, but
Yeah.
it's worth it. You need to continue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shame
'Cause-
you every day in the DMs now.
Oh, God. Because I love Jolene,
Yeah.
and I am down bad.
No, it is so fair because
Yeah.
like she is like the independent boss babe. You really like being bullied. Like that's what I'm discovering. I'm like, you really like being bullied, huh?
Jesus. Oh, God. I'm dying.
Is it time for a Gatorade?
Yeah.
I think it's time for some Gatorade.
I'm dying.
It's
Oh
the
my
truth.
God.
You can't deny the truth. You like being bullied. Confirmed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I just like her design.
Her design is phenomenal,
Yeah.
and her character is also phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know anything about her, but I think you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
love it when you get there. So you just
Yeah.
gotta like power through that little rough period.
Yeah.
'Cause like my second hubby, Anisai, who's
Mhm.
also pretty fucked up, is in Stone Ocean, and I need you to see him too. So
Oh,
you can
boy.
understand my taste truly.
Great. Oh, great.
Well, if they're a little feminine and they're gonna commit a genocide, I'm probably gonna fuck with them heavy.
Yeah. God. So, what are some of your other favorite anime?
Free Ren. That's taken like a top
Let's
spot
go.
in my
Yep.
heart. I'm
Same
like,
here.
I can't watch it without crying
Yep.
because I didn't think I was like softy like that, but
Mhm.
like something about it, I'm like, I regret everything. I should be nicer to people.
Yeah.
And it's like you leave feeling like after you watch it, so just like, damn, life is short. I
Yeah.
should appreciate everybody around me.
Yep.
And I'm like, I have so many favorites. Oh, Akame ga Kill.
Okay.
That's controversial though.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's controversial, and like a lot of people think that I wouldn't, but it's also like it shows a lot of reflection of society in terms of like governments and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
And I really like how they executed the story because spoiler alert, nobody lives through that. Akame, I think like at the end she walks away from what I remember. That was also one that I watched like when I was like 15, 16.
Jesus, yeah.
But it like left me going like genocides are bad.
Yeah.
War is bad.
Yep.
Governments are bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh no. Like, damn, they're really down bad. Like, they just killed everybody off, no regard. And that was my first example of that in an anime.
Okay.
And I was just like, okay, so nobody's safe. Like, I went into every other anime. Like, I was not. Your Lie in April, also one of my favorites.
Yeah. So good.
'Cause I did my final project in that class that I was telling you I was in on Your Lie in
Okay.
April, and like I psychoanalyzed that.
Yeah.
I called it Your Cry in April to
Oh.
start the presentation because like I did not get through it very well. But it was like
yeah.
it was one of those ones where I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go into this knowing that nobody's safe. I don't care that this is a school anime because they killed the children. So
Yeah. God. Yeah, I literally I think it was the first or second anime to get me fully back into, oh my god, anime is the thing.
yeah,
My college roommate at the time put on he was watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I was like, ooh, what's this? And then we started watching it, and he's like, oh, try and watch this, and it was Your Lie in April.
oh,
And I was like, oh, it's
God.
not like fighting, whatever. I put it on, and
You're
12
like, oh, just
episodes
some
later,
kids playing piano.
yeah, I cried so much.
I was
And I'm
like-
like, is this anime now?
I was like, what is going on here?
Where's
what
the fighting?
What was like, we had gone from like girls into Panzer in that class, also another really good one, but I really like tanks. So it's the one about like all of them in their different regions and they're like in tanks and it's just like camaraderie, girl power, the usual thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on here? We went from super cute to like, why would I do this to myself? Like I signed up for this. Like, because I'd seen it again on Kiss Anime, my number one op, to be honest with you. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I had like a frenemy relationship with Kiss Anime where like sometimes it would recommend me some bangers. Yeah. And then other times I'd be like, what is going on here? I'm lost. I need my parent. Like, yeah. But yeah, so it's just like that concept of like, okay, everything can be taken away all in once just like rocked me. Yeah. And I was like, yep, love anime. Yep.
Love it.
I love it. I thought that this anime could not hurt me. I'm going to need 2 days to recover. Like,
literally.
Oh my God. And I was a musician at the time too, right? So like watching Your Cry in April, just like double hit. Honestly, I would pay to be able to recover my essay on that because like I know that I was bitter about how much it made me cry. Like I was one of those teens, right? Like I was very like, why are you making me cry right now? Like how could you do that to me? Yeah. But yeah, like I would love to see what I had to say then, but like what I know now is that yeah, it's definitely worth it though. If you haven't seen it, like please go watch it. Like go mess yourself up psychologically like that for a day. It's wonderful. It's great.
It's only 12 episodes, so
12 episodes of pure pain, baby. Yep. Because it starts right from the beginning. Like it doesn't like it's like it fools you for maybe like 10 minutes. It's like, oh, this is so cute, and then it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Trauma.
It's like, what's going on here? Is this a trauma bond?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
God, it's
so good.
It's so good. Yeah, I literally like I finished it and I was just like, why did you recommend me this?
Why have you forsaken me? What have you done to me?
Yeah.
Why would you hurt me like that?
Yeah, why would you hurt me like that?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, what are some others that Kiss Anime suggested that you were like, oh my God, this is so good?
Oh my God, what is the name of it? It's the one where they have the elevator where they go to, I can't remember the name of it right now, where they go to like heaven or hell and like the girl is, I can't remember.
Death Parade?
Death Parade, yeah. I really loved that one. Yeah. That one was so good.
Oh, yeah.
I cried again at the end of that one pretty hard.
Yeah.
It was just because like I knew she was like, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but I knew, and I was like, please don't be real, please don't be real, and it was real, and I was like,
yeah,
I was rooting for you.
The same roommate was reading the manga at the time, and he's like, you should watch this, and I was like, ooh, the intro's a fucking banger.
Yo, the first episode too, it gets you because it's like that argument,
it's like
right?
a death game.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I was like, oh my God, and it was just like trauma. Like,
no, I immediately was like when I watched it, I immediately was like,
yeah.
Ain't no fucking way you're not. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm like, oh no, girl, you're down here. Like, there's a reason you're down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn. I'm surprised it was Kiss Anime recommended Death Parade because it's never talked about anymore, which is unfortunate.
And I think it's because like I was watching again animes that I shouldn't have at an age that I should have, but like it was just like by chance because I think that's when I like had the A to Z thing and it was just flipping through like a couple and I saw the animation and I was like, ooh, like I like this artwork. I'm like, this is pretty. I see that there's like kind of like a poker like bar style kind of vibe going on here. Like, let's get into it. Little did I know more emotional damage was coming my way, but it was so worth it. Like, I recommend that one heavily now to a lot of people because again, it's slept on, right?
Yeah,
like
straight up. I'm
actually super excited because a cosplayer, Weichida, just like completely revived it by cosplaying it. And I'm seeing everybody talk about it again, and I'm like, yes. I'm like, yes, let's get into this. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, and that fucking intro, man.
Oh my God, it slaps.
It slaps so.
Almost all of the music through it, to be honest. Like, it slaps. Like, I'm like, who did your music production? They need a raise. Yeah. Like, give them a raise.
Yeah. It's, if an anime has good music, obviously most anime have good music, but it's like stellar music.
Like when it goes above and beyond and it just like itches that scratch in your brain and you can't stop playing it on loop. That was like me with JJK. The reason I got so into JJK was because like the soundtrack hooked me from the beginning. Yeah. I was immediately like, what is this? I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crispy.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
me with Free Ren as well. That
Same.
soundtrack. Oh my god.
That Lord of the Rings-esque soundtrack gets
Right?
me every time. Because, like, the
Genius.
the nerd in me, right? Like, the
Yeah.
LOTR nerd in me
Yep.
is immediately like,
Yeah.
nom 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 nom
yep.
nom. I'm like eating
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, straight up. That's literally reminded me of Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah, no. As
perfect.
soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my god, are we getting like a short Legolas? I'm so down for this. I'm like, okay, knock off Legolas, go
Yeah.
off. Like, I'm like the stoicism.
Yep.
I'm like, you're just missing the hype, babe. Like,
Yep.
that's all it is.
Yeah. Literally.
She's just as traumatized too. Like, am
Yeah.
I wrong? Like,
Yeah. Comey has a good soundtrack as well.
yeah.
And Shield Hero has a fucking fantastic soundtrack.
I have heard that, and I'm like, I should watch this, but then I'm also like, it's one of those where I look at it and I'm like, I'm gonna get bored. I think in like a couple episodes.
How do I? You're not gonna get bored
Oh,
in the first season. Second season, the first half, maybe a little bit.
a little bit.
Apparently, it picks up halfway through the second season.
Yeah.
We are still trying to get through the second half of the second season.
So it's got that Ray Zero effect. I love Ray Zero, but like for me, the first part of the second season was really slow.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
yeah. Like I
Okay.
needed to like motivate myself to kind of get through it because I
Yeah.
was like, okay, love a good magical girl arc, love
Yeah.
all that nonsense, love figuring out stuff, but like this is going so slow. And I need this to go just like a tad bit faster.
Mhm.
I ended up pushing myself through it, and like, don't get me wrong, second part, phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Will not say a bad word about it.
Yeah.
Could not say a bad word
Yeah.
about it. Live, laugh, loves to tell you.
Yep.
I am very like villain oriented. I'm like, if you are even slightly a hint bad, I want you on my team. But
Also,
yeah.
like, did you watch it in sub or dub?
I watched it in both actually,
Okay.
because my brother, him and I are very like sub oriented.
Yep.
But my mom, she's a little bit older, and bless her heart, her eyesight's going. So sometimes we do need to watch the dubs.
Yeah.
And so we ended up watching both for that, and I really loved both.
Oh yeah.
Like, both were really, really well done. And I'm
Yeah.
normally like, actually, I hate those. But that one was really well done.
Yeah.
So I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The what's his face? Fucking clown looking guy who has the mansion.
Oh my God, I love
What's
him.
yeah, his Ray Chase.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm just like, you're doing such a good job at acting right now.
I got
I
so
f-
into it, I forgot I was watching it.
Like literally, I'm just like, sir, you're in an anime. You don't have to go that hard.
Like, yeah, like, they can't be paying you that much, sir.
Yeah.
Like, they probably are.
Oh,
Not gonna speculate on that. But
yeah.
I'm like, phenomenal. Like, you did not have to go that hard.
Yeah, I literally was, every time he spoke, I was like listening intently, and
Yeah.
like, he was just so good.
It was like what I imagined in my brain when I read it.
yeah,
Like, I was very like, this is what I imagine this character sounds like. Even just like looking at him, I'm
Yeah.
like, you nailed that. Like, that is bang on. That is beautiful.
yeah. Every time, every time he came on screen, I was just like, stop being so good.
Please leave some talent for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like,
Yeah, like, come on. It also, was it season 1? Probably, I think it was season 1. Started my love for Rem.
yeah.
Yeah, after that, like, monologue from Rem, I was like, oh no.
Oh no, my heart.
Yeah,
that was.
Because I was like, oh yeah, I like Amelia, she's great. I don't get the Rem hype. And then she said that whole 5-minute
And you
monologue,
were like, I'm in
and
deep.
I'm like, oh, I understand.
I understand now. You just needed to get there.
Yeah.
For me, like, I'm an Amelia simp. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. She's useless. Like, I'm going to be so for real with you. Like, everybody
Yeah.
says it. Like, she's kind of useless, but I love her, right? Like,
Yeah.
I stand by my day one. She's got white hair, elf queen.
Yeah.
Say less, right? Like, I'm like, easy for me to deal with. But it's like, yeah, after she had me second guessing after that monologue. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was down bad. You
I
know?
literally, yeah, I was like, Subaru, if you don't pick her, come on, you're a
I
bad
know.
person.
That was
Look
like
at,
the ultimate pick me move too. Like, there's
Yeah.
no other option after
No.
somebody lays that out in front of you. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, did you not just hear what she said to you, sir?
Yeah.
Like, and you're gonna go back to Amelia and be like, again, this is coming from an Amelia simp, but like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, yeah, Amelia, you who can do nothing really for me, like, who can do nothing really for me.
Yeah.
I choose you.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, fix yourself.
Yeah.
Like, get your
literally.
attitude, get it together.
Yeah. Come on.
I'm like, you have gold in front of you.
Yeah.
Amelia would be perfect for somebody else, you know?
Yeah. She's an elf. She's.
This is why Subaru annoys me. Like, he dead ass annoys me. I'm like, you are making horrible choices here, sir.
Yeah.
Like, you have life choices that could progress you in life.
Mm-hmm.
And you are choosing, like, the laziest, easiest way always. Like, sir, you drive me wild.
I will say in ReZero, the fucking trauma that boy goes through. Jesus Christ. I was just like, oh, it's just an isekai. I'm gonna like
It's
sit
just
back.
an isekai. Yeah, like, I'm just going to watch this guy fall into this reality, and, like, he's
Yeah.
going to have his little harem, and it's going to be hee-hee,
Yeah.
ha-ha. Nope.
Nope.
It's, like, emotional damage right from the jump.
Straight up.
They're like, oh, you want to watch everybody that you love die time and time again? Okay.
Yeah.
And Subaru just eats it. Like, I'm like, that's crazy. Could
Yeah.
be me.
No. I would literally be like, what am I doing here? Why am I here?
Like, somebody get me to the point faster, because, like, I'm not doing this constantly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like, oh my God. And it's so realistic into the fact that I really like that he was sucked into the world, right?
yeah.
And he literally has no knowledge of the world and
No.
doesn't figure out anything for like the entire first season.
No, he's, like, still lost throughout the
Yeah.
entire first season. And it's like, buddy, you think as soon as you would learn the language, you would be like, okay, so I've learned the language. I know how to speak. I know where I am. I should probably figure out what the hell is going on here.
Yeah.
And instead he's like, hold on, let me play Waifu Defender 9000. And it's like, this is why you keep dying, sir.
Yeah.
We've got the wrong priorities going here. And it's like, as soon as
Yeah.
he starts to, like, focus on being like, okay, like, this is what's going on here. What the hell is this hand thing that keeps trying to, like, silence me and choke
Yeah.
me out? I was like, bro, it took you, like, 2 seasons to get there. Like,
But I also like it because it is kind of realistic.
yeah,
Because,
because, like,
like,
the trauma, right?
yeah.
Like, you're not going to think about that.
No.
The Waifu Defender 9000 was wild, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm like, you think that you would prioritize, like, what's going on with
Or
me?
living.
Yeah.
Maybe just living.
like,
you know?
maybe not making the same mistake over and over and over again. Like,
Yeah.
you think after, like, the second or the, like, but I guess that's realistic too, right?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know. So
Oh.
if he doesn't know, how the hell is he going to, like, figure it out?
Yeah, totally. But it's just, I just really love the fact that he is an idiot from
Yeah.
the beginning
Oh, yeah.
and just like
Unapologetically, too.
yeah, he's just a dumbass. And I'm like, that would be me in that world because I'm like, what do? I have a bag of chips with me. Like,
Honestly, the minute I found out that I had, like, this witchy magical girl-esque power, after that, I'm abandoning, like, any of the waifu stuff. I'm
Yeah.
immediately going on an adventure with my new powers. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what can I do with these?
yeah,
How can I be useful in this world?
yeah, exactly. Okay. Where was I going to say? I was going to say something. Toradora, you brought that up earlier.
Yes. Oh, my God. Taiga,
Yes.
icon, a queen,
Icon.
a legend. You really like being bullied. Back to that again.
Oh, no, I don't. I actually did not like Taiga throughout the
Really?
yeah.
I really
yeah.
liked her. I was like,
I-
oh, I like that you're spicy. Like, I think that that's good.
I felt more for Ryuji than anything,
Fair.
and I thought, what's her face, the peppy one that was like, "Woo!"
That was always, like, just ready.
Yeah,
I was like, girl, you definitely
I-
had, like, a Red Bull.
I love her, but Taiga took me forever.
You had to warm up to her.
Yeah, to actually
Yeah.
like especially at the start, I'm like, bitch, he's making you food.
And you're being ungrateful. See, as somebody who's like, I came from, like, a similar position to her, so I was like, oh, I get you. Sweetie, just let him cook you the food.
Yeah,
Like, just take the food. I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
you can do this, you can do this. And it was like, one of the things that, like, really drew me into the series was how long it took her to warm up to it, right?
Yeah.
Because it was really realistic.
yeah,
Because it wasn't just one of those where, like, he appeared and she was like, oh my God.
yeah,
She's like, why are you doing this? Like, what are your actual intentions? And
Yeah.
she, like, sussed it out, right?
hmm
And I was like, that's so real.
Yeah.
I love it. I was like, I love seeing how real it was. Another one that made me cry, but it was a good cry.
yeah,
I was
Yeah,
like,
same
she
here.
deserves it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was so on the end. I was kind of sad.
Yeah, it
little
was like
bit.
one of those where I was like, damn, you're just going to leave me unresolved like that?
Yeah.
I was like,
It was one of those that we finished the last episode and I just put the first episode back on again.
Like, I need to comfort myself
Yeah.
immediately, and I need to feel serotonin again.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It was just like that. Oh,
Oh, like this is what we're getting.
yeah.
I think for me, when I got to the end, I was very like, this is reality, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that kind of hurt. That was a little too real.
Yeah.
Time to turn Vampire Night back on. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, time to watch some trash anime to make me feel better about that. But another one, I don't know if you ever watched it, that I really liked for kind of almost the same reason, like the pacing and stuff, was Erased. Which
Oh, I
is,
haven't seen Erased.
Yeah,
It's
that
been
one's-
recommended like tenfold.
it'll mess you up,
Yeah.
but it is really worth it, like in the long
Okay.
run. I personally believe the anime ending was really like botched, because the manga ending was like great,
Yeah.
but the anime ending they botched
That's
a
also
little bit.
what I've heard.
Yeah, so I'm like, read the manga first, so you go into the anime knowing the good context behind it, and then you can just pretend that ending didn't happen like the rest of us do. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not like, when I used to be younger, I used to again be like, mangas are better. But this one, I was like, honestly, up until that point, the anime was keeping up with the manga pretty well,
Yeah.
and then they just pooched the end.
Yeah.
So,
That's one thing I did hear about the ending is like everything's good except for
yeah, I don't even know where they pulled that from, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because like I watched that and I'm like, who wrote that? Like, I'm like,
eh?
did you get this off of Archive of Our Own? Like, who wrote that? Like, what in the fan ending is this?
Yeah.
But the manga was like, the manga ending, like, I was like, ooh. But yeah,
Yeah.
that one definitely makes you think. And I'll watch it, but
Yeah.
I'd watch it with tissues.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually heard that. That
Yeah.
and like I've heard it's either Erased gets recommended to me or it's Parasite.
Parasite is so good, but
Yeah.
Parasite is like, it's a mess.
Yeah.
Like, again, my
I
high
don't know
school
why they get not bunched together.
my
but
high school library had a copy of Parasite, so I took that out from my high school library. Like, it's
what
insane.
the fuck?
I think it's because we had librarians who had no idea what any of it was, and we were all just like, yes, this. And they were like, okay, I trust you guys. Because we
Wow.
were all the nerdy good kids, right?
Yeah,
So they're
of
not going to
course.
be like, yeah, let me read through them. Like, we had Tokyo Ghoul there, I think, too.
Okay.
And I was like, and Blue Exorcist, which Blue Exorcist in the grand scheme of things isn't too bad, but also for like a high school library, like, maybe not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I took it out, I read it, and I was like, ooh. And then I watched it, and I was like, it gave me very like the same feeling Akira did,
Okay.
where I was like, there's a lot going on here, but
Yeah.
when you start to like put the layers of a lot together, you're like, I love it. Like, this is messed up, but I love it.
Yeah. I don't know why those two get lumped together when it gets recommended
I
to
think
me.
it's just
but-
because they're both really psychological. Like, they're both like super deep into the psychological, and they also both like kind of focus on like that school element and that kind of like time play element. Although like Parasite, but I think that the reason that they get lumped together too is at the time that Erased came out, Parasite was also like resurging. I think I can't remember if it had come out before or not. I know that they were cross popular at the same time, and they were
Yeah.
two like the most popular psychologicals for a bit.
Okay.
Again, Erased was, I think that one was recommended to me from Rumi when we were younger.
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, this is what you're watching? Like, what are you doing here?
Blink if you're blink twice if you're not
yeah,
okay.
like blink twice if you need help.
Yeah.
Because what is going on here? But yeah, no, like, I don't know. It was messed.
Yeah.
But it was good. Like,
Yeah.
those two I do recommend. But also, like, you got to be in the mood to be watching something like super psychological.
Yeah.
October is a great season for them. That's when I typically recommend them, because they came out in the winter, I believe. I think they were both winter season.
Yeah.
So, like, they're set in that vibe. Like, a lot of Erased is set in the winter. So I'm like, I don't know if you like to, like, coordinate your watches to the
I
seasons.
really don't care.
I'm like, but if you coordinate Erased to winter, it kind of leaves you even more messed up.
Haikyuu's the only one I'll watch in the spring.
So, yeah, that's fair. I love Haikyuu.
I love Haikyuu.
I love Haikyuu.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's just happy.
I can't even describe it. Like, my love for it is just like, it's like nostalgia, right? Because it's like one that you watch growing up. Like, I watched growing up with like a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
And again, anime class. That one was one we watched, and I was just like, it's so amazing.
It's so good.
It's so wholesome too.
Yeah.
Like, you just leave and you're like, oh, I have faith in humanity.
Yeah. Literally.
And it's like they don't kill them all. So like I love
It's
this
great.
anime.
It's
I'm like,
perfect.
oh my god, I can watch this
Yeah.
comfortably, safely. I say this now, watch.
Oh my god.
They'll do something to me. They'll hurt me in a way. But like
yeah.
I don't know, I think it's just like it's one that's gonna stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we recently watched a music anime called Sound of Life, right?
Yeah.
Sounds of Life. It was fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
We finished it the other night, and the amount of times I went, this is just a sports anime.
This is just a sports anime in
This
a
is-
different package.
Literally, I'm just
Yeah.
like, they're like, let's go to nationals, and I was like, that is
Okay, but
just
as a former band kid, it is a sports anime IRL too, because
Yeah.
like you're sitting there doing nothing but like training to go to nationals.
yeah, literally,
And like, for what? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think the two are really similar, especially out in Japan. To be honest, I wish that some of
Yeah.
our music programs out here would run like they run them out there, because like
this is scary.
they're not even scary. They're just really talented, because
Yeah.
they get them working from like a young age, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, North America could never.
No,
Like we could never.
no,
Like there are marching bands out too, like North America's marching bands. I'm like, that's insane. I've never seen that much talent in that small of a child. Like
yeah,
10 out of 10.
yeah, 10 out of 10. Yeah, it surprised me because I don't usually go towards music anime.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just hasn't
Probably
really.
your crying April traumatized you enough to know to stay away.
Probably, honestly. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I haven't even given a try, which is
Okay.
a music BL.
Yeah.
Um,
Weird. You haven't given a BL a try?
I know, right?
Off brand.
Yeah, right?
No, just given. You've watched lots of BL.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I know, but we're talking. I'm like, damn, you must really be traumatized from music animes to like back off the BL.
Yeah. Zombieland Saga haven't seen. Jesus.
Zombieland Saga's good.
Yeah,
Do it.
I've
Open
heard
your
nothing
heart.
but, and it's comedy, so
Yeah, it can't hurt you. Well,
Whisper Me a Love Song.
Whisper Me a Love Song's great.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
also a Yuri. There we go.
Yuri.
Yeah,
10 out of 10.
yeah,
It's a
Music
music
Yuri.
Yuri, which makes it even better.
yeah. That one's really fucking good. Welcome to the Patreon shout out portion of the video where I give my lovely patrons a shout out and a thank you, kind of just saying thank you for supporting. And yeah, if you want to support the Patreon, the link is going to be down below. Please subscribe, it really helps me out. And so let's get on with the shout outs. Thank you to Keith, Blythe, Geo, Bunny, and Michael. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, if you'd like to subscribe to the Patreon, it will be down the description below or wherever you get your podcasts. So yeah, go subscribe to that and back to the video.
I'm like,
I'm
add
just
it to the list.
traumatized.
Yeah, I know, and it's so fair because like, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
It hurts.
yeah, it does. I was waiting this throughout the 2 seasons of Sounds of Life that we watched. I literally was like, okay, who's gonna die?
You're like, alrighty,
Who's
I'm
gonna
waiting.
who's gonna get who's
who's
gonna
getting axed?
yeah, who's there while there was a lot of like trauma and stuff.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, I can handle this trauma.
You're
It
like, I'm
sucks,
so ready.
But yeah, I was like, okay, I can handle this. If it's not out of the blue, we're good.
You're like, please don't do that to
Yeah.
me.
Moon was crying
Yeah,
so much.
you're real for that.
Yeah.
If you can't cry to the anime, like I think at this point we've discovered Bunny has a theme with her animes.
Yeah.
If I'm not violently sobbing at some point in the anime, I'm not committed to watching it.
Yeah.
I think JoJo's is the only one I haven't cried through.
I mean, yeah. Understandable.
There's some parts though where like it definitely almost got me,
Yeah.
but it didn't.
Mm.
So I'm like, this is why you're top for me. I can make it through you without crying.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, same here, because, like, I'll literally throw on Free Rent and be like, oh, cool, this is just the first fucking episode.
You're like, great, thanks.
Yeah, great.
That was me in the second episode. I'm like, really already?
Yep.
And like, poor Mikey. Mikey was sitting there.
Oh, no.
And I like, we didn't have the cameras on at the time because we were stream watching it together. And I could
Oh,
just
yeah.
hear. I was like, are you crying? And he's like, no. I'm like, it gets everybody.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you're soulless if you didn't cry at some point in Free Run.
Yeah. I showed two friends Free Rin when, I don't know, I think it was when it was airing. So
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to sit down, we're going to watch the first 5 episodes.
We're going to do this together.
Yeah, we're going to do this together. And so I put on the first episode. First 10 minutes is that like kind of like the heroes partying, right? It's
Oh
that
my God,
epilogue.
where you're like getting
It's-
to know them. You're getting emotionally
Yep.
attached. You're like,
And
oh my
then-
God, I love the gang.
Yeah, and then, right? It hits you.
It's right into it,
It's right into it. And all I hear is,
No.
and I turn around and both of them are like,
And you're like, yeah, we got another one.
yep. Let's go.
I'm like, you're hooked and synced into this now.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
the one that didn't make me cry that I loved was Kaiju number 8.
Oh, that's super fair. That one's actually
Yeah.
like really well done.
Yeah.
I haven't fully gotten through it yet, but I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
this is good.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It didn't make me cry, but it made me stand up and go, "Let's go!" Like
you're like, let's
shonen,
go.
like, "Let's go! I'm a man."
I'm a man, and this is like hockey to me. Like I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love like that when it causes that visceral of a reaction where I'm screaming. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this is so
Worth it,
good.
yeah.
I'm like, worth it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were talking off camera about trash anime that do you like some trash anime that you might not want to? What's
Yeah, like I don't want to name names because I feel like I'm gonna get canceled for some of the animes that I'm like, oh, this is kind of trashy.
no?
But it's like,
It's safe space.
You know that the shirt that you're wearing. Listen, I love card captors, but also like if you actually think about that story, and you think about what's going on in that anime, I'm like, this is definitely trash taste. I'm like, and it's not a bad thing. It's just because it's like, as an adult looking at some of the relationships
Yeah.
in that anime, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, girl. But the nostalgia value,
Yep.
I'm like, it's one of those for me, right? Where it's like, I'm like, well, it is a different part of the world, and there are some things that are normalized that I don't agree with, but
Yeah.
can't control the content necessarily that comes out of it. So I'm going to enjoy this and pretend that I didn't
Yep.
read what I read.
Yep.
And it was the same with Violet Evergarden. Violet Evergarden went through this arc.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
and
I remember. Yes.
I was immediately like I think we all know that I'm a social justice warrior. So for me, I was immediately like, what the frick is this? And it was like, I had to like pull myself out of it and go, okay, this is time period based, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, like even the one I just got a tattoo of like self-exposed Raven in the Inner Palace, like
Yep.
it's traditional based.
Mm-hmm.
And like they even touch on like the topic of like incest, right? Like there's like 2 ghosts that are there because they committed self-ending, if you will, because
Yeah.
they were the first generation where that was banned, right? So it's like it kind of touches on like a bunch of historical stuff, and it's
Okay.
like the age gap between them is she's 16 and he's 23, but then it's historical, right? So
Yeah.
it's like you look at it and you're like, okay,
She could be 13.
she could be 13,
Yeah.
and like, you know, at least they kind of like did it justice in the sense of like they didn't make her like a child.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, some people like there's moral conflict on that, right? And
Yep.
I'm very on the air of as long as an actual child is not getting hurt.
Yeah.
If it's historical, you people piloted Game of Thrones very
Mhm.
easy, and there's some questionable stuff in there.
Mhm.
There's some things you gotta let bygones be bygones with.
Yeah.
And if it's a historical piece, it was very normal.
Yeah.
And if we pretend that it wasn't normal, then we're not acknowledging how weird history was. I don't know, and we don't learn from it, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I'm very like, put my hands in the air sometimes. I'm like, this is my trash anime taste, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like, I'm like, some people would look at that and they'd just be like, oh. But it's also like,
Well, it's kind of, I'm gonna fuck it. It's kind of like with Inuyasha,
yeah, because it's
With
like you look at the
Inuyasha
gap
and
in
Kagome,
that. Yeah.
or with Yashahime. Yeah, where
Yeah.
Sesshomaru and Rin.
And it's like you look at that and you're like,
Yeah.
it's like people don't bring it up for those, but it's like some of the content, like for example, there's one that's out that I really do not agree with right now, and it's
Yeah.
2.5D dimensional succubus, and it's because the original source content of that is like literally CP,
Oh,
right?
great.
So it's like drawn
Yeah.
CP.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way around that. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
I don't mess with that. That is way too far. But it's like there's certain contexts where it's like if it's traditional oriented, that is what happens then, and we can't really deny that.
Yeah.
And it's not trying to normalize it. It's just kind of like, hey, this is an arc in the story that's not necessarily fully focused on,
Yeah.
but it's there, right? And it's
Yeah.
like we at some point have to acknowledge like it happened.
It happened. Yeah.
It happened, and it's gross.
Yeah.
But it's like it happened, so it's like I don't know. It's like, do you want it to be historically accurate, or do you want it to be like a depiction of
Yeah.
history? Because there's a difference between
Yeah.
the two, right? Like, and it's okay to want it either way, and it's definitely okay to be uncomfortable with it, right? Because it's like, you know, but it's like also like to apply labels to people too who consume that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, oh, it's trash anime, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
like, poorly written, questionable, but nostalgia factor is there,
Yeah.
and it's good,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm like, doesn't necessarily normalize it, because you see the other characters, like, for example, in Inuyasha, like, they kind of make fun of it, like, the Gap a little bit. They're like, what is going on over here?
Yeah.
But, like, Cardcaptors was one where nobody questioned that, and I was like, 911? Like, question
Yeah.
mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still love it, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, when I watched that, I was a kid. So, like, how was, you know, I don't think any of us even paid attention to the romance arc when it aired.
No.
I think we were all too busy on, like, oh, my God, she's got tarot cards that, like,
Yeah.
summon these things. What is
Yeah.
going on?
And the banger theme song.
The
you know.
banger theme song, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, it's like even stuff like in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm pretty sure, like, there's, like, that weird age gapping in Yu-Gi-Oh!, right? Like, again, I did, that's the only one where the dub, like, and it's trash. The dub is so bad. But, like, my nostalgia factor, I'm like, yeah, let me consume some old Yu-Gi-Oh! For a minute.
It's nostalgic, right?
Yeah.
It was oh god, it was a dub of the time, right? And it's not no one's fucking I just love Joey having a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, no, it was, like, so out of nowhere. And I'm like,
I love it. Yogs, what you doing?
I know, I'm like, yes. I'm like, I feel so seen. I'm Canadian, but, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. I'm
Yeah.
like, yes. I needed this. Like, as soon as, like, you see his hair and you're like, what other accent is he going to have? Like,
Yeah. God.
God. I warned you one might get us canceled.
No. No, it's a conversation.
Yeah, right? And it's like, I think it's something people are afraid to touch on too, because
Yeah.
it's like, there are contexts where it's completely not okay, and it's like, that is CP.
Yep.
That is fetishization and normalizing something
Yeah.
that shouldn't. And then it's like, if you look at content like Game of Thrones, where it was handled correctly, where you're like looking at it from a very negative perception lens, right?
Yeah.
Like, because when you watch those certain characters, you're like, ooh, that's not right.
Yeah.
Right? It's like when the animes do it the same way, where it's kind of just like, this is historical or whatever, like, this is normal for whatever the time period was, but it's not normal now. I'm like, yeah. Because,
Yeah.
like, Raven in the Inner Palace did a great job of kind of transitioning and touching upon, like, the I word, where they were like, hey, historically, like, this is normal. And then at a certain point, it did get banned, and a lot of people viscerally reacted, right? Because it was
Yeah.
very normalized to them. And you're like, yo, that trauma runs deep.
Ugh.
Handled it way better than Vampire Knight could ever dream of. Vampire Knight could never.
Oh my god. Oh god, yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. Oh.
Yeah, that was horrible. And I was
Yep.
like, they doubled down on it too. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's as soon as I found out that there was a part of anime that had that area.
Yeah, you were immediately like, how do I get away from this?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the author of Rent a Girlfriend makes a manga about it.
oh my
And
god.
then
Oh
it's
my
becoming
god.
an anime. Animated by a studio who makes Oshinoko. Kind of
Not a surprise.
not a surprise,
Not a
right?
surprise. That's on brand.
Yeah, right?
First off, I just want to say the betrayal. Me and my best friend Buka, you know, back when it was in its innocent good era, we decided, hey, we're besties. What if we cosplayed Ruby and Aqua together? And like I swear to you, every time I look at those pictures now, like I sent him them the other day, and I was like, look at us in our trash anime era. Before we knew we would be betrayed.
Yep.
I was like, because like one of my friends sent me a message, and they were like, I don't know if you want to pull these pictures down. And I'm like, why would I want to pull these pictures down? They're like, have you caught up with the manga recently? And I'm like, no. What's going on?
Yeah. Yep.
I got Vampire Knighted again.
Yep.
I'm like, I cannot believe that if I had a nickel for every time that I've been surprised with the I word in anime, it would be 2 nickels. And that's too many nickels to have. Like, too many nickels to have.
Yeah. Straight up.
I'm like,
I was like in denial because Moon was like, no, this is how the chapter goes. And I was like, no.
you're
This-
like,
this-
no.
No. The author wrote Kaguya-sama. That's not possible.
No way.
That
No
is
way. Like, you
not
you'd
possible.
think that they would have more self-respect.
That's not possible. That's one of the best comedy romance anime manga like of the past decade. There's no way they would write that.
They would never do us like that. That's
And
what I was
then-
saying. That's
yeah.
literally like to Buka. Like I was like to Buka. I was like, I just got told this. I don't believe it. There's
Yeah.
no way. I'm like this. I was like, they're animating this, and this is huge in the West. I'm like, there was a way.
Yeah.
Where there was a will, there was a way.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta pull those cosplay pictures down now, which sucks because
Yeah.
I love the Ruby cosplay, but then I was
Mhm.
like, do I want to be associated with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, no, why would you do all that?
Mm-hmm. So next time I get yelled at online for not liking Oshinoko.
Yeah, like, listen, I can, if you want to stand by it after that, sure,
Yeah.
do your thing. Please get away from me.
Will I give it its flowers where it is probably one of the best first episodes I've ever seen?
Oh my God, it was phenomenal.
100%.
Yeah, like, no, that was phenomenal. I'm not going to
100%.
dunk on it and say that, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, the story was awful.
No.
It was great until it went there.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the same with Vampire Knight, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was great until it went there. Like, why would you do that? Why would you ruin a perfectly good story like that?
Sometimes you just gotta kiss your sister, you know?
No, we do not roll tide over
Nope.
here. No.
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 No. God.
No.
We are not a domestic girlfriend stan.
Oh, D-Gen.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you gotta be a special type of G-Gen for that. Like, side eye.
Yep.
Bombastic side eye.
Mm-hmm. God. Fuck. There's so before we go, there's this archetype that I hate. Not hate, but just usually I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like it's harem. I don't like harem very much.
Yeah.
100 girlfriends that really, 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 really love me. Handled it perfectly.
Yeah, like
Perfect. The writing,
Chef's kiss.
perfect. Chef's kiss.
chef's kiss.
Rent a girlfriend. I'm trash, so don't look at my shelf.
Look at the shelf.
Still
Take a good
still did
hard,
not
long
handle it
look.
very well. There was an anime either last year or the year after, I forget, called Sugar. You good? Okay, called Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, and it was fantastic. It's
Yeah?
fantastic. It is fan-fucking-tastic. But the intro, I was like, literally the second season.
Yeah.
The intro played, and I turned to Moon and went, I swear to God, if this turns into a harem, I swear, I was
You
yelling.
were
I was
losing
like,
your
"No!"
mind.
I
You're
was
like,
like,
no.
I love this anime so much. Don't turn it into a harem.
What are they gonna do to
They
you?
didn't, thankfully.
Whew.
But the way the intro made it,
They
was
got
like
you.
All the guys were like around her, like giving her things.
Oh,
I was like,
you were like,
no,
no,
no. No, thank you.
You're like, don't ruin my beautiful story, please.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I love this. Don't ruin it.
You're like, please, God.
And they didn't, thankfully.
I love
Thankfully.
that for you.
Yeah, I was scared.
You
I
were
was
like
sweat-
shaking in your
Yeah,
booties. You were
I
like,
was like, do not.
girl.
Yeah.
No, that would have been like my final straw. You know, like
Yeah.
when I saw that, I would have been like, I would have immediately started tweaking. I would have
Yeah.
immediately been like, no, we're not going to be
Yeah.
doing this. No, not my perfect girl.
Yeah.
No, not my story.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, do I like a little bit of spice? Of course.
Yeah, you're
Of
like,
course.
I love a little bit of it there.
Yeah. But like, don't turn my
Don't.
soft, sweet,
Beautiful, innocent story.
yeah, into a
Into-
fucking harem. God.
I didn't know you felt so strongly about harems.
Okay. Because I've been burned.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been burned.
you've been hurt before.
I've been hurt. I have the war wounds,
battle scars, if
battle
you will.
scars, the
Looking at that shelf, yeah, you have a couple.
I have a couple. A couple. Thankfully I don't.
You like pain. Again,
Yeah.
we're reiterating, like, you going back to the liking
guess.
bullying and pain
Yeah.
on brand.
God. Fucking damn it. Yeah. God. It's just the
That's so real.
yeah.
Like, the fact that it was even a chance
Yeah.
would have been tilting enough for me. I would have been
yeah.
like immediately like on Twitter like
Yeah, I have
they
trust
better not ruin my
issues.
perfect anime.
Yeah. I have trust issues. I have
Same.
yeah. I was like, do not turn this into a trash. Like, because I again, like I said, with the 100 girlfriends who really, really, really love me or love me.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh, this is gonna be trash. Blah.
Boo.
And then the first episode went, this is actually really fucking funny.
You're like, wait a minute, hold
I
on,
was like,
rewind.
why is this written so well?
You're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
And I was like, why is the protagonist actually good?
You're like,
He's a good
huh?
person.
He's nice.
He's
like,
nice.
he's not just like
Oh.
written like a blank sheet of paper.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he actually treats all of the girlfriends
Correctly. And is kind,
Is
and
kind.
like
Yep.
gentlemanly and
Yep.
like actually is like honest and communicative.
Yeah.
Although he does struggle a little bit, but like
Yes.
that's part of the arc,
Yeah.
right? And that's what makes it so like
Yeah.
cutesy, right? It's
Yeah.
like watching that little struggle and you're
Mhm.
like, oh,
Yeah.
you'll get through this.
Yeah. Would I fix those eyebrows? In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
That's like me with my Attack on Titan husband. I think you know who.
Who's it?
It's Mr. Irvin.
Yes.
Mr. Teardrop Eyebrows.
Oh,
When they first brought
yeah.
him on screen, like, I had to like, I looked at Rumi because we were again in high school watching
Yeah.
this, right? Attack on Titan is crazy, but like,
Yeah.
I was like, I think I love him. And she was like, really?
I mean, after that speech, I get it.
No, like that's what got me. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, just give a speech. That's all it
Yeah.
takes. Like you just got to give like a heartfelt, devoted speech, and I'm
Yeah.
immediately like, I'll stand by your side. Like I'll do anything for you, sir.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's a first, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I really like.
Yeah.
I like if you go back on my Facebook, I'm pretty sure he was like one of my first like photos for the timeline header thing. Like, you
Oh
know,
my
like,
God. Jesus.
Yeah, like I loved him.
Yeah. Someone recently told me they simp for Reiner, and I was like,
That's so real.
yeah. I was like, first of all, therapy. You need
Anybody in AOT therapy
true.
immediately.
Well, yeah, of course.
Like they're all messed up.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
therapy right away.
Yeah, but I'm just
the
like,
different kinds of therapy. Like
Yeah.
there's a difference between
Yeah.
DBT and
Yeah.
CBT, you know? Like
yeah. He just needs a hug. That's all he needs.
he needs a hug and probably like a vacation.
Yeah.
A really long
A
vacation.
very long
A
vacation.
very long vacation. Like,
Yeah.
we are so sorry. You deserve a compensation vacation.
Yeah.
Like having to deal with that, I could not.
Nope.
I simply could not. But
Nope.
like that's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm. I was like, you okay?
Are you okay in there?
Yeah,
Like,
you okay?
You good in there, sweetie?
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, you okay?
everything okay?
Yeah.
The answer is no.
No.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like it can't be as bad as simping for Dio.
Yeah. That's a new one. I get it, but again,
Okay, listen, I'm not the only Dio simp out
oh
there.
no, God no.
Like, again, have you seen him?
Yeah.
You gotta admit a little part of you sees Dio and you're like, that's a snack. It might not be all him. Like, it might be like a little collaboration with Jonathan, but still, like, it's a whole snack.
Yeah. Good God.
It messes me up to think that, like, he went out there and did the nasty with Jonathan's body.
That's so fucking...
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. He's the biggest hater at anime history.
I love him. He's
Yeah.
so dedicated to being a hater. Like,
Yeah,
I wish
literally.
I could be that dedicated.
Literally, he's like generations of your
Oh, yeah.
kin. Fuck him.
He's like, I'm not letting go.
Yeah.
And we're going to flip universes, and I'm still not letting
Yeah.
go. Love him.
On that note, thank you so much for being on.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Where can the lovely people find you?
On Instagram at Bunnybow Cosplay, or cause with an underscore, and Twitter, same username. Pretty much, well, if you type in that username, that is what I use for everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, go follow them. Follow me at Corky Cosplays on Instagram, Adam Corky everywhere else. Subscribe to the Patreon. It helps keeps the lights on, keeps the show going, and yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel, listen on Spotify, all that fun stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
I will throw your dog into the furnace if you don't subscribe. Goodbye.
Yay.
Just like my idol.